And welcome back to the Flow Sports Fix on this Tuesday evening. Got local netball coming up shortly with the Stat Man, but right now the Flow Man, he's looking at some local football, firstly with the central regions of SA.
Barossa Light and Gawler, and the topsy-turvy nature of the season continued when Angaston were way too good for Tanunda. 16-12, 108 to 10-7, 67, and many think those two will feature in September action. Williston, they could also feature in September action. Another win, this time their first away one up at Williamstown. They beat the Barossa Districts 12-13, 85 to 7-4, 46. Kapunda had an absolute ripping win at home against Gawler Central 12-11, 83 to 9-16, 70. And the Bombers did the job in the second half here. In the third quarter, they came out and kicked 4-1, and then 4-1 in the last quarter to sew it up. Bell with 3 for them, and Evans their best player, while Mercer, that's B. Mercer, with 3, and Molyneux, Gawler Central's best player. Gee, they'd be disappointed, the Gawler Central Tigers, with their start to the season. While South Gawler won't be disappointed, they beat Freeling 34-25, 229 to 1-3, and gee, poor old Freeling really struggling right now at the moment. Burton and Cutting both got 6 for the winners, and Sammy Carmichael, the kicker of the goal for the boys out of the Freeling Redlegs. A very disappointing result for them in the weekend. The York Peninsula, it was round 3 action, and Butte 10-10-70 went down to Central York in a thriller 11-9-75. So well played to the Central York Cougars there. They'll be pleased with winning that away game. CMS Crows way too good for Wallaroo at 20 goals 19 to 6-4. It was Southern Eagles 11-5 to beat Kadena 7-13. That's a great win down at Waruka by the Eagles. And then finally, Moonta in a big upset of beaten Baskerville 12-12, 84 to 12-10, 82. Gee, that's a close game of football. Well played there to the Moonta D's. In Adelaide Plains, it was round 3 action, and Angle Vale kicked a cricket score against United 33-19, 217 to 7-10, 52. If you don't mind. And what about the kicking for goal here? It was Cavey kick with 9, and well played to him in that win by Angle Vale. And a win by Balaclava 18-16, 124 over Hamley Bridge 6-15, 51. Maybe Hamley Bridge haven't improved as much as we thought. While another big one-sided game for Malala 22-18 beating Hummocks Watchman 3-1. And another one-sided here with Two Wells 29-17 beating Virginia 6-8. If you don't mind, that is an absolute flogging by their rival. And Edmean booted 6 goals for Two Wells, while they struggled. Brendan Nicholas, the great goal kicker, just got the 1 for Virginia in that match. So well played to Wells. And finally, in our look at Central football, we go to the Northeastern, and it was a really good round 2 set of matches, because getting up and winning BBH 12-13, 85, beating Blythe Snowtown 10-8, 68. That was a match that, BBH have certainly improved and shown on their home deck they'll be something to be reckoned with. Smythe with 4 for them, and Newton, their best player, young with Guy Hutchie, the boy from Elliston, played well. Darling, the veteran, was the best player for his side with 3 goals. And in other matches, it was BSR thrashing South Clare 24-19 to 6 goals 8. That is that last year's grand finalists playing each other there. And Moller and Longbottom booted 5 each for the Tigers. While another game of football won by Midman 14-15, 99 to South Clare 6-11, 47. Good for Midman to get onto the winners sheet. They played well with Lloyd and Wolford, both booting 3, and Rusker and B. Sando, they're better players. While the Southern Saints tried hard but couldn't get home in the end, was RSMU 12-3, 75 to Robertstown, beating the Southern Saints 9-10, 64. That is a great win by the boys in the Hawk outfit, and Michael Laney booted 4 for them, and Milne, their better player. Hardy, great hand up forward, booted 6 for the Southern Saints, and N. Smith was the best player for the Saints on the day.
And from the Central Regions and SA over to the Wimmera and Mallee regions of Victoria.
We have a look at Wimmera football, and in senior matches, Horsham went down to Ararat in a big upset, 11-4, 70 to 7-13, 55, and gee, that is one that we didn't see coming at all. And what about this stall? Way too good for Warwick Eagles. 20 goals 18 to 5 goals 8. The poor Eagles are really struggling along at the moment. But the other matches, Dimboola 15-16 to beat Neil 10-5 in a rivals match there. So Dimboola looking quite good early season. This is, though, the match and one of the matches of the season in country Victoria anywhere. The Southern Mallee Giants 10-14-74 beat Minyip Matoa 11-7-73 in an absolute thriller. The highly fancied Minyip Matoa have been knocked over by the Southern Mallee Giants. These two sides, of course, played in the grand final back in 2019. What a performance at the weekend by the Southern Mallee Giants. The Orange boys got out there and did the job. Brock Orville, what a return to the club it's been for him over 2 weeks. He kicked 6 goals, best player on the ground, with Zach Robbins and Sangster also playing well, petering 3 goals for Minyip Matoa, and they'd be very disappointed with dropping that game. And if you were at Beulah Recreation Reserve, you would have been stunned because reserve grade had a 1-point victory the other way. Minyip Matoa 7-9-51, Southern Mallee Giants 7-8-50. What a game of football it was. Again, nothing in it for the whole 4 quarters. Eats booted 5 Minyip Matoa like Orville did for Southern Mallee Giants in the seniors game. He was the difference between the two sides. And what about this? Johnny Bellinger, he kicked 3 goals, the big fridge, and Matt Bellinger was their best player. So a pretty good match of football there in the twos. Meanwhile, down into the under-14s, the Southern Mallee Giants weren't able to get the job done here because it was the Minyip Matoa boys easily 10-6-66. The mercy rule applied 1 point for the Southern Mallee Giants, but they did kick that point in the second quarter, but just couldn't get moving to then stop the mercy in the third quarter. And young K. Hallam, S. Williams and H. Williams and A. Credlin were good players for the lads in the orange outfit. Minyip Matoa, well, they were able to name a couple of very, very good junior footballers that they're bringing through. Young Hammond with 3 and Shevlin was the best player for them. Over to a look now at Horsham District football for weekend matches, and a stunning result for Narradiua Quantong and for Edenope Apsley folk too. It was 17-18, 120 to the Bombers. Edenope Apsley 3 points on their home ground. 3 points for the afternoon in a senior match of football. Meanwhile, it was a one-sided game between Kalkee and Lahara. It went to the Keys, 20 goals 16 to 6-8. They still haven't got their first win yet, Kaniva Lior, because Nadimak got up 16-8, 104 to 14-9, 93. The Swifts 20-16 thrashed Pimpanayo 2-4, while Rapanyup 21-12, way too good for Taylor's Lake, 9 goals 6. And finally, in the match of the round, and they've got some revenge, Jeparit Rainbow 15-12, 102 have beaten Harrow Balmoral 11-15, 81. And gee, haven't Harrow come back to the pack this year? And wow, the Storm, they look like being amongst the top sides in the competition through this season. The reserve grade match between the two clubs had the Harrow Balmoral 18-14 to the Storm 5 goals 2. A pretty good win there in the end to the Kangaroos. The 17 and unders match, this was a great game of football, won by Harrow Balmoral 13-9, 87 to Jeparit Rainbow 6-3-39, while in the under-14 age bracket, this game went the way of the Harrow Balmoral 6-9-45 to an inaccurate Jeparit Rainbow 1-6-12. But the kids from Jeparit Rainbow will certainly get some goal kicking practice this week. But some really good games of football played across the Horsham district and in the Wimmera over the weekend. It was exciting to see it and to be able to bring it to you here on the Sports Fix.
Thank you, Flo Man. We know how much you really do love your local football right across the Flow region, and it'll be good to get you back talking about umpires with the Stat Man a little bit later on in the program. But speaking of the Stat Man, he's coming up next looking at local netball.